Yeah, that's a whole element of spiritualism, is like the connection you have with your parents or your kids, because like your spirit or soul or whatever you believe in, it develops from your mom, you know? And
Right.
also partially something has to feed into that from the sperm cell, because it's necessary for those two pieces to come together to make a human. So you a piece of both your father and mother are within you that create your personality and everything. My kids all have elements of my personality and their mom's personality. And so definitely like your spiritual gifts or whatever are going to be passed down genetically through one of your parents. And a lot of stuff, um, like I don't think it's really a physical reason that when they come out, they recognize your voice or stuff like that. The same as like dogs, when you own them for a while, and then like when people go away to the military and they come back, the dog gets so excited. I think it's real similar. Like your kid will be very happy to see you when he or she is born. And a
But your
lot of
kids
people,
know your voice when they're inside of, like, your kids can hear you. They like when they're inside, like, you talk to them. That's why they tell you to read to your kid. They tell you to do different things because they can actually hear. They can hear your voice while they're in utero. So that's definitely a physical, like, they're
Yeah,
connected.
you started with something and then you ended up with something completely different.
I don't think it's because you're reading to them like physically the sound of your voice is making that connection. I think it's because you're putting energy into making that connection. You're building that connection energy wise, because breastfeeding builds a some type of bonding connection, and
No,
that's
it doesn't. Not necessarily.
why do you say
Right,
that?
and even so, I agree that it's energy, but energy is not a spiritual connection. Everything has energy. Like all living things have energy. Even a lot of non-living things have energy, like depending on what's connected to them, and you know what I mean. But everything has energy, so that's a whole different thing than spirituality. What you were saying at the beginning, how you were saying like a parent, especially a mother, always has like a deep spiritual connection to their kids is very true because it is just literally like a strand of them out in the world. If you're a parent and also the type that's very like spiritually and energy perceptive, like how Kai was saying, she knew one of her friend circle was pregnant. Like that's how my mom is with her friends and family circle. Like if my mom's mood is fucked up and nothing happened in her life, she just calls like her three main friends and she calls me and she's like, I'm trying to find out like why my energy's fucked up, you know what I mean? And I'm like, well, let me tell
You
you
know
about what
what?
happened yesterday, mama. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And that's crazy because my guy, like, he'll wake up and if his damn shirt doesn't match his socks, he has a whole mental breakdown and his energy is fucked up. And he doesn't understand. He's like, "Why do you have an attitude all of a sudden?" I'm like, "Dude, I have told you before. Like, I'm an empath. When the energy changes around me, like when there's anything wrong with any of you guys, I automatically know it. I don't care how far away you are. I don't care where you are. I don't care how bad you try to be like, oh, everything is cool. I can literally feel your energy. Like I can feel when it's fucked off. So when you wake up and you have a mental breakdown over your socks not matching your shirt, it throws my whole fucking day off. I need you to not do
Right.
that. I need
Hey,
you to figure
verse,
out
Yeah,
how to
people
figure
don't
out
verse.
realize how
your
much their
goddamn
energy
socks.
affects people around them.
I have a
Like, it
question for
has
you,
such an
verse.
effect.
Would you say that you experienced this to where you can go into a room with your woman and not even physically show any signs like a facial expression or body language or anything, but you can tell she's mad?
Yeah.
So I think that once you get around somebody and like you start forming connections, I think you get a connection energy wise that is goes deeper than the natural. So I think that's a supernatural thing that a lot of couples experience. Um
Mhm.
you can tell like you
It's
can
close
Well, I
if
don't
friends.
you
It's
date
not just
necessarily
somebody for
think
a
that's
couples.
while.
supernatural. I think that's more about knowing your partner and growing with your partner. I mean, granted, there are some supernatural connections, but being able to tell when your partner is mad or being able to feel when your partner is mad is two different things.
Right. And like I said, real life energy is different than a spiritual connection. Like what you're talking about, you have a little stronger with like your partner or your spouse than anybody else, but you have it with all your close friends and family too. Like once you allow somebody into your energy circle, like that energy starts to affect you whether you want it to or not. You know what I mean?
Well,
And it's
and
just
right,
like
to the
LaKrysia
same
said,
degree.
those people
It's not
can
to
get
the
away
same
from
degree as
it.
somebody that you're sexual with on a constant basis. It's there, but it's not the same degree. But
well, for me, it's the same degree everywhere.
I
I
was
can
gonna
go up
say
into a
maybe for
store,
you, I've had just as strong connections with people as I
right?
have with people I've been having sex with for 3 years, with as opposed to people that I've never had sex with and I've had just as deep as connection with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
and I can
that's not
literally
true
walk
at
into
all for
a
most people.
store
It might just
and
be true
feel
for you.
people.
yeah, maybe that's true. But it's, I mean, it's
Like you've
people I'm
never had
sexual
like
with,
a
and
real good
my
friend for
kids
a
and
lot
my.
of years and people
This
you
is
have
where I
sex with.
experienced it in a non-sexual way. Playing football, when we would go out on the field and we'd play a hard game and everybody would be exerting a lot of force and we'd start losing, like the whole team's energy would feel the same way. Like we'd get in the locker room and you could
Right. It
look
works
around and
that
by
way with
everybody's
me
facial
too.
expressions, you could tell we all were feeling the same feeling. And it was like compounded by being around these teammates and being an actual team. And like that, it was just like a whole unit. Like the whole unit felt it, from the coaches to everybody in the team, the stands, everybody would feel it. Like the school you
Well,
were
And it works
representing
that way
felt
at
that feeling.
offices and workplaces and shit like that too. Like that's why people don't want super negative. That's why employees would rather have like a positive, good energy person that sucks at their job than somebody who's really good at their job but has really bad energy, because it spreads to
but
the whole team. Like
and I think those are also two different things, because you think about it. Well, it is sense, because when you think about it, when you're on a team and you're losing, of course the whole team is going to feel it. You're losing. But when you have a person who walks up to you, you don't know, and their energy is off and it impacts you, it's a different type of situation. Like,
right.
it's just different when you don't know a person and you can feel that their energy is off. And that's why I don't let people in. Like, I don't allow people to come into my space. I don't like people. I don't like going to Walmart because there's too many
Right.
people with too much
I hate
energy,
meeting new
and
people
I
and
can
neighbors
feel
and
their energy. I can feel it. Like, I can just walk past somebody and be like, ugh. I've had my husband bring men or people over and be like, ooh, please don't bring that person back over there. Their spirit is off. Like,
right.
and just meeting that person, like, don't do that.
Right. And some people have like super like draining and taxing energies, you know what I mean? Like I hate like meeting new neighbors and new people if they have like really extreme like draining energies, because then you feel like fucking exhausted. Like it's weird as shit. I used to have this one neighbor that every time I'd see him standing outside, I'd already get in a bad mood because I'm like, God damn it, this fucking energy vampire is just gonna farm me for everything I have, you know what I mean?
Energy
And I'd try to like quickly walk in the house and shit, but I could never. He'd be like, "Hey, what's up, man?" He'd come walking up, and I just already feel it being pulled from me. I'm like, "Fuck!" He's already like feeding on me, like, and I'd only talk to him for like 5 minutes or so, and I'd come in the house, and almost every time I'd be like, "Fuck!" Now I have to take a nap. Like that motherfucker is so exhausting. Like even just talking to him for a couple minutes, you know what I mean? And yeah, there's lots of like energy vampires like that out there, and if you don't have a ton of energy ready to go into hanging out with them, you can't even handle it. Like,
Well, even people who normally give me good energy, because like I live by myself, and if me and my partner are fighting or they have a problem with me for just no reason, I'll say, look, you cannot come into my apartment right now. We're gonna have this fight in a coffee shop or in a park somewhere, but you're not gonna bring that energy into my home and into my bedroom.
right.
So then it's just gonna be stuff with me lingering in my space, and I don't want that.
Right.
Are
And
in
my
a consistent
16-year-old is
relationship.
now starting to realize that. And it was funny to me. He was like, Mom, I never understood. He was like, but is that why you don't let people come over to our house? And I was like, exactly why I don't let people come over to our house. It's because I don't need all them different energies all up in here.
Right.
I ain't got time to be smudging every day. Like, okay, get this energy up out of here and salt in my windows. I ain't got time for that.
There's only been like 3 people in here the whole year that I've lived here. Yeah, there's only a select few that'll let their energy come in here for any amount of time, you know.
Right. Right.
Does sage work?
You know what? It does. It does. And you know what? It's crazy because I got a couch from this lady. Oh my God, my house was in fucking shambles for like a week. I swear. I was like, what the hell? And it was crazy because everybody that sat on the couch was like, had this fucked up energy for like a week. So I was like, I gotta sage the house now. So I literally had to sage the whole house and sage the couch, and everybody's energy changed. But I was like, damn, just a piece of furniture bringing it into my house? I got to watch the furniture I bring into my house? Like, what the hell?
Oh, yeah. If my energy feels weird, I start throwing shit out. Yeah, I'm like, it's something in here. Yeah.
What this verse have going on?